I truly believe that true thought leader is an author as well, like is at least pursuing authorship or at least publishing important work. So it could be white papers, it could be, articles that are really like academic in nature, that type of stuff. I truly believe that's because I want people who bring facts and things that are fact checked as a standard of care for the world. So before 2025, I really focused here, business model and brand authority, right? And then I served people who also happened to be authors if they were. And until I became an author, I realized, wait, this is why women are getting fucked in thought leadership, is because nobody's actually telling them what this actually takes. And they're not integrating these two on the way here. Because you're like, I gotta go make money, I gotta create content, and then I gotta write a book. Or I'm writing a book and then I'm mad because my book didn't get the legs I wanted to get, but it was because you didn't integrate this too. And there's nothing wrong with it because nobody's teaching it. And I didn't feel qualified to teach it until I did it. February 2025, when I released Unicorn Team, I was like, now I'm qualified and I can speak to this in a way that works. So I truly believe that when we think about, you will become more of the influencer and investor and insider that you are when you start to communicate your cash flow, your content, and your credibility with a leveraged way to do things, and that every 100 days you have goals around that. And that's just what my book, because my book is a go-to-market book. It's called the Innovation Playbook, but it's my experience of bringing big ideas to market with big success. And I was like, you are the idea the world needs to launch. You need to launch the you into the world. That's what this is. Deciding today I'm not gonna do all this random shit, and I'm also not gonna use my things I've done as evidence that I've done enough and I still should get mine. No, you don't. That's not how the world works. I wish it was, because if it was, we would all be millionaires, right? We should be all millionaires, right? But the reason we're not is because we're not integrating. And I don't know about you, but most of us don't like social media for social media's sake. The current thought leadership people that we admire don't use social media for social media's sake in general. Some do, but it's kind of by accident too. Like when I think of some of the IG influencers, that's who I think of. So what I want you guys to be thinking of as you leave here is, am I integrating these things, right? And am I investing time, instead of like all over the place, in a couple places where I can create a huge win? Even if you're busy. Because I hear a lot, like, I'm busy, Jen. I couldn't come to your thing. I couldn't da-da-da-da-da. I said, yeah, but that's why you have to wait another 100 days probably. And then another 100. And then before you know it, your book comes out and you didn't get the movement you wanted under it, even though it has the dopest name ever, Instigators. When we keep asking, cash flow wise, how's my little thing not working? How's my little thing not working? I'm like, you're not failing fast enough. I love this whole, just go for it, make the KPI. In my book, I talk about one of the things that I do is I pay my team to fail. They have a failure budget. That's the cost of doing business, right? I'm like, especially when we're doing paid advertising, I'm like, this is how much I'm willing to risk for us to fail. And I want you to fail hard if we're gonna fail. I want you to go all in. And teams aren't used to being told that. They're used to being told you must achieve. And I was like, if I teach you how to fail, then you'll take more risk with me and I won't have to beat my head against the wall, because I wanna sleep more instead of being on these fucking projects that keep me up all night. I want you to be thinking about the who and the what. I want you to be thinking about, how do I integrate my business model with my brand authority, and at the minimum be thinking, how can I write important published work at some point and make it the bomb? Like, don't do it half-ass. Don't do it like, I'm gonna write a book and I'm gonna get it done. I want you to go for it. You deserve to be a bestseller. You deserve for people to read it. You deserve for it to be on people's eyes and ears. And I was very alone during my book launch, even though it looked like I rallied a lot of people, because I didn't have strategizers. I didn't have a strategizer. But my main thing was like, now I see the void and the violation. The void is, the truth is that nobody's building their personal brand right, truly, if they're serious. If they want gravitas, not just fame, which is different. Gravitas is different than fame, right? And I started to realize I value being respected and recognized more than I value being famous or keeping up with the social media Joneses.